All right, deep breath. Ross Levitan here with you after a 4-3 Ottawa Senators win. And something I've been so hard on the Senators about this year is when they go on one of these mini runs, like the 4-game heater that they'd been on right before the All-Star and bye-week break, it feels like the letdown is always more than one game. They don't just bounce back right away. So tonight, yeah, there's a lot we can nitpick about how bad the system was at times and how they just really looked like they were getting dominated. Timmy said that in his post-game interview. He goes, Sogi had us there because we were getting absolutely caved in against the Calgary Flames. So credit to Timmy for being there when it counts most, and with a goal and 3 assists, all at even strength. Wasn't there a guy on Twitter, a Leaf fan, who's talking about how Pierre Engvall has more even strength points? He had some wild, we're not math guys, we had some wild calculation that showed that their third liner was better than Timmy Superstar. Well, Tim Stützle had more even strength points tonight than Pierre Engvall had in his last 16 games. I quote tweeted that guy, and then I realized how stupid it was to even engage in that conversation, so I just deleted it right now. All right. So let's get some questions because we know this is a fun one. I appreciate everyone for waiting up. I really do. I can't tell you guys enough. How good was Meth today, by the way? I threw him into the co-host. I texted him at 9:30 this morning. I was like, hey, Pilsy's flight got delayed. Do you mind jumping on the pod? And he's like, yeah, man, I'll be home in an hour. Let's go. And he was unreal. So that was awesome. Hey, shoot Meth a message, just tag him on Twitter, just be like, yo, I love you on Locked On Sens, because the fact that he joins us, we've been on here for 734 episodes. The fact that we have a beloved and awesome Ottawa Senator to come give us that insight, you guys and us, we learn every time he comes on the show. It's awesome. We don't take that for granted at all. It's super sick that he's kind of, come to us. We had a lot of people when Wham ended and Mathot came on and everyone's like, oh, it was just in conversation. He's not actually going to go on there all the time. So it was kind of good to put a smile on that as well and just say, oh, yeah, well, maybe. How about that? This was his 9th appearance on Locked On Senators today. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. I know it was posted a bit later. So if you need to catch up on that tomorrow, definitely worth the listen. Got me so fired up where he's like, yeah, Carl would love to play for the Sens again. Oh, yeah? Awesome. But hey, let's get back to this game tonight. So the Senators get outshot 37-25. They don't score on the power play. All even strength goals, which I think is super impressive, and you need that at times. 37 hits, 28 block shots. That's a sign to me that they didn't have the puck a whole lot in this game. And the numbers would reflect that. The high danger scoring chances clearly favoring the Calgary Flame. Not clearly, 10-7. Not a huge difference, but the Senators certainly did most of their damage with the goalie pulled. As I mentioned, and I'm going to get the exact timing, but this was, according to NHL PR, the Senators' latest 2-goal comeback in franchise history. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. The Ottawa Senators are down 3-1. It was 3-1. And then it wasn't. Drake Batherson's goal was assisted by Tim Stützle and Shane Pinto. And then it was less than a minute later that Alex DeBrincat from, you guessed it, Tim Stützle and Eric Brandstrom. So not only did Tim Stützle have 4 points, they were all primary points. 3 primary assists and the overtime game winner. Are you kidding me with this guy? And in overtime, too, I mentioned to at Senators, I said, oh, man, sorry, I'm reading the comments at the same time. Usually I can just snap it over to Pilsy, and then I read the comments. When I'm just teeing it up, it's a little bit harder for me to keep an eye on the comments. But how about Alex DeBrincat playing cat and mouse? DeBrincat and mouse, may I? In his own zone, and Jacob Pelletier or whoever was on the ice there for Daryl Sutter just couldn't get puck from him. He gives it to Timmy, and it's a race with a great defensive defenseman. And that's Mackenzie Weegar, a guy who I would have loved to have had on the Ottawa Senators. Guess what? Couldn't keep up with Timmy. And then he kind of makes marks from stretch out. He can't finish it off. Just unreal finish. I like 3 forwards in overtime. Hot Lunch asking. No Parker Kelly, though, for you in this one. But no, in all seriousness, I do really like it. What was Shabbat's ice time tonight? He was my locked on player going to this game. Yeah, he played a ton. I mean, there's no surprise there with how things were going with no Jake Sanderson in the lineup. 27 minutes and 39 seconds for Thomas Chabot in this game. Almost 4 minutes of it on the power play. 9 seconds, which, I mean, is probably just the end of a penalty kill there, shorthanded. But all in all, I thought this was a pretty bad effort by the Ottawa Senators during, 57 minutes? They score first, but even when they scored first, they were getting outshot 5-1. But you know what? Good teams find ways to win. And I'm not ready to give them that label just yet. But that's a gutsy win. Dare I say pesky win for this Ottawa Senators team? I'm going to say pesky. This was a pesky Ottawa Senators win. And I'm hopeful that it carries into tomorrow, because could you imagine the vibes if the Ottawa Senators come home for Chris Neil retirement night, having won 6 of their last 7? They have a long way to go. They beat the Islanders a couple weeks ago, but now they have Bo Horvat, a little different. Will it be Ilya Sorokin in net? A little different than Semyon Varlamov. But I do think it's worth mentioning that we could have an all-time vibes game on Friday against the Chicago Blackhawks with boots on the ground, Locked On Senators. Steve G's asking about Brandstrom. Did Brandy get another assist tonight? Oh, he did. Oh, Brandy. How about Brandy being up at 19 minutes tonight? And that goal, you could tell the confidence right away. Right when that goal went in. He almost scored again in the third period in the Edmonton game. He had the best opportunity that the Sens had. He's got 5 points on the season, but 3 of them are in the last 5 games. He's +5 in his last 5 games. Super impressive for him, as the Ottawa Senators are finally starting to string some wins together. Can they keep it up? Oh my God, we're going to find out sooner rather than later. Hey, I appreciate you, Leo, for mentioning that, tagging Mathot there on Twitter, letting him know that it's great. We appreciate having him on the Locked On Senators podcast. You guys have any questions? I got a few minutes, but I do have to run. I got to get some flowers home to the lady. A little Valentine's Day action, but it's going to be fun, man. I think tomorrow's game is okay. I'm not going to say it. How many times do we say must win, can't lose, must win, can't lose, must win, can't lose? But I do think that tomorrow's game, if they win, I might get fully delusional again. I'm on such a teeter-totter with this team. With this team. It's awesome to see. All right. If you have any questions, dude, that Erik Karlsson moment today on the show of him having Martian's tweets, one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So we'll see where this goes. But right now, I think we just have to enjoy that this was an awesome win for the Ottawa Senators. Brady Tkachuk, his 21st goal of the season. Like, this guy's going to score more than 30, right? Right? He hit 30 last year in game 82. I think he gets to 35. I don't even think that's a hot take. Is that a hot take? 35 goals for Brady Tkachuk this year? How about 36, just to one-up Josh Norris from last year? Tim Stützle, I mean, he's almost at a career high in points, right? How far does he have to go? This is updated. Tim Stützle's 5 points away from matching last year's total. 5 points away. How many points does Timmy end up with? Timmy's got 53 points in 48 games. Like, is 90 out of the question? Is 90 points out of the question? Sens fan and Van, appreciate you adding a couple coins into the guitar case, as we like to say on the postcast. Thoughts on Sogard going Darth Vader style? Gerber didn't work, but Sogard's so efficient, so intimidating. You know what? This was classic us being ideas guys this summer, and Mads sounded open to letting us, like, at least put the tiniest bit of detail onto his mask, and then we just completely forgot or didn't, like, think of anything good enough. Next year, we got to get on Mads' helmet, especially, I mean, if he keeps playing like this, that might be an NHL goaltending mask. So we got to help design that. That would be the ultimate for a goalie-friendly show. Tonight, by the way, was the first time that our hashtag goalie-friendly show had both Sens goalies as recurring guests. I love that. That's something that if you had told me when we were on episode 100, even episode 200, I would have said, you are absolutely nuts. Nobody gives a crap who we are. Maybe maybe Joey Dax back in the day, but hey, Lord Doink, like in the Super Bowl last night. Sogard doesn't need to look 2 inches taller. This guy's 6'7" off skates. He's massive. The only thing about his game that's stopping him from being a really solid NHL goalie is consistency. And that's going to come with time. It's going to come with time. It really will. I'm very confident in that. I just think that he needs to find rhythm. And that's one of the reasons. I mean, let's go. Let's get him back in goal tomorrow. I want your opinions, though.